Hey there, gang. Welcome back to Papa's Model Workshop. I'm Papa. This is my workshop. This is Papa's Quick Hits video number 9. I think it's number 9, right? Yeah, Quick Hits number 9. I am working on the Italeri Fire Truck, all right? And let me see here. Get this out here so I can show it to you. There you go, the Italeri Opal Blitz Fire Truck. All right, so I have started working on this, and if you're a regular follower of my channel, you may have heard me mention in the past about looking down the line. All right, what I mean by that is right now I am on step number 1, okay, assembling the frame, and you want to look just beyond what it is that you're working on currently, okay? This actually is a critical part of the build, because as you assemble these frames and you put in the cross members, okay, everything has to be level. If you don't get this level here, then the rest of the build is going to be off. And one of the things that you really want to be aware of is when you place your build down on the table, you don't want it so that one of the wheels is hanging up slightly. All right, and one of the ways you can ensure that that doesn't happen is making sure that everything is square and level in the very beginning stages, in this case of this truck, this framework, and the cross members, okay? So even before you get into that, here's something that I would recommend, and I've also mentioned this in the past. Test fit your pieces before you commit them to glue. Now, here are leaf springs, okay, that are to be attached to the frame. And as you can see, I've already done that. But before I attached this, all right, these pilot holes, one here and one here, were actually too small, wasn't fitting. So for some of you new people, and I'm really addressing the new people, I know that the more experienced people out there know what a pin vise is, but for the new people, this is a pin vise, all right? It's a handheld drill is the best way I can describe it. You put your bit in here and you manually turn it, okay? And no, I'm not going to drill a hole in my hand to illustrate this, but what you do is you will, for example, the pilot hole, all right, is right there, all right, and you will just put it into that pilot hole, for example, and turn it, and you can enlarge the pilot hole, which is what I did here. And now these 2 spots where the attachment is for the leaf spring is fitting, okay? Here's another little thing that you may want to consider. I have two sides to this frame, okay? I have the outer side, okay, and I have the inner side, which is really not going to be visible, okay? So what I did was, after I made the peg fit into the newly enlarged pilot hole, I applied my glue on this side, the side that is not going to be seen. All right. That way it avoids, glue marks out here where it may be a little bit more visible. So take a look at the pieces that you are assembling, and if you have an option of applying the glue to a visually inaccessible area, then choose that option. So here's the rear stabilizer, all right? And I'm sure this probably has a different name. I'm calling it a stabilizer. And now this is going to fit here. Okay. And that will give me stabilization for these 2 pieces. All right. So I'm going to, where's my glue? Here it is over here. And a lot of times I will use a plastic coated paper plate, and I will put out just a little bit of glue like that. Okay. These are things that I've mentioned in the past, and I use a toothpick, and I just dip my toothpick into, for those of you who have hands and fingers that actually work, it's a lot easier, but I've got an arthritis situation and my fingers don't always like to work. But anyway, I dip the toothpick into that little puddle of glue, all right? And I can just apply this right into this area here, right? A little bit. And I will attach this. Okay. And I'll lay that down, right? So I can just kind of hold that in place. Now, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to glue this to the mat, all right? And actually, what I'm going to do, because I'm going to probably have to hold this for just, a little bit. So I'm going to pause this so you don't have to sit there and watch me hold this until the glue dries. Okay, so hang on. Okay, gang, so this should be nice and dry, and just to help things along, I put a little alligator clip on this joint to hold things together, and let's remove that, and it looks like we're pretty well glued together. Now, one of the things that you can do to make sure that everything is lined up is you can use these grid lines on your work mat, okay? And this way, you are making sure that everything is lined up properly. One of the other things that I like to do is I showed you step one over here. Okay, bring this back here. Okay, here we go. Step one right there. All right, and you have all the parts associated with step one. Okay, now if you're a regular follower of my channel, you know that I like to separate all of my parts by color, okay? But when I have a particular step that I'm working on, I will take the parts out separately and I will place them on my work mat, and these are only the step one parts. In fact, a lot of times what I will do is I will actually line them up in order so I can, place them properly. Now, maybe that's getting a little bit overboard by lining them up right where they're supposed to go. You can find where they're going to go if you don't necessarily line them up, but that's what I do. The other thing that I want to also point out here is right in here. See that little opening right there? Okay. Now, it's important, as I said before, to test fit. And this is the axle, right, that's going to fit into these little notches right there, okay? I wish I could find my pointer. As I said, the grandchildren were here yesterday, and things are just strewn about. And it's driving me a little bit crazy that I can't find it. So hold on one second. Okay, I found my pointer. Okay, so let's take a look here. And I hope this shows up on camera. But right in here, there's a little area. See that little piece that's sticking up right there, okay? That's going to fit into that little notch right there, all right? Now, in test fitting, I discovered that it was not fitting. So I had to take my X-Acto knife and I had to widen these notches on both sides, actually, this one and this one, all right? By test fitting, it's easier to make those modifications before you glue things together. That's just my way of doing things, but now I know that this will fit in here without a problem, all right? The other thing that I want to make sure of is this going to be level? By making sure that these pieces in the very beginning stages are on properly and level will then ensure that this is level. And if that is level, then when I put the wheels on later, the wheels will be level and you won't have a wheel that's sticking up. All right. So this is what I mean by looking down the line, understanding how things are going to fit and how it's going to relate to things later on. Now, One of the things that you can do is you can, if I can find, here we go, it's right over here. You can get yourself a little level like this, okay? And you can just set that down on here, right? And you can see, let me get my lines all straight here, all right? And you can see, are you in fact level, okay? And get over here, you. All right, let's take a look here. Let's see if we are level. Okay, and I don't know if you can see that bubble. There we go. There's the bubble, all right? Now, if the bubble is right between these two dark lines, okay, then you are level. So, these leaf springs are on in such a way where they are directly level with each other, all right? So then I know that when I put this axle on, let me back this out a little bit. Okay, I know that when I put this axle on, it's going to sit on this frame level. And then when I put the wheels on, I know that the wheels are also going to be level. All right. So those are just some little things that will help you out. So I think that's going to do it for this Papa's Quick Hits video. And if you want to give me 1 second here, I'm gonna throw something else in here real quick. Let me move this out of the way. Did you ever use this Tamiya extra thin cement? Okay. Did you know that the Tamiya extra thin cement and the Tamiya airbrush cleaner are the same thing, right? It's the exact same thing. Stuff in here is the same stuff as in here. Here's the thing though, all right? The Tamiya extra thin cement, all right, is, here we go. The extra thin cement is $9.99, okay? This is as of February 2026. That's when I'm shooting this video, all right? And you get 40 milliliters in here, all right? Now, if you're an old guy like me, the thing that translates with me a little bit better is, 40 milliliters translates out to 1.35 ounces. So you're paying, in round figures, $10 for 1.35 ounces, all right? On the other hand, if you buy this, all right, this has a lot more. It's 250 milliliters or 8.45 ounces, all right? So it's just about 8.5 ounces versus, in round figures, about 1 1/3 ounces of the extra thin cement, all right? Except for this, at 8.45 ounces, you're paying $13.19, right? So for $3.18 more, okay, for $3.18 more, you can get this bigger version, all right? It's like getting 7.1 ounces more, all right? So just a little bit of arithmetic. I thought I would point that out to you. It's a cost-saving, economical thing. Buying this is much better for your wallet. It's the same exact thing, all right? And I used this on the engine, actually, just before. And if I can find it, I will show it to you. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so I found my engine block. Now I glued this together, all right? A lot of times what I'll do is I will put sub-assemblies together. That's what I'm doing here. This is all going to be flat black. I added a little bit of silver. Well, actually, it was aluminum to the leaf springs. It has to be cleaned up yet. I have a little bit of, see right there how it went over. So this is not complete. I have to clean this up a little bit. And this was done with marker, by the way. But I will generally put the sub-assemblies together if they're all going to be one color. All right. And the engine here, this will all be one color. All right. So that's why I assembled this. But my point that I'm kind of leading up to is I put this, the two halves of this together using not this, okay, but using this. All right. I actually ran out of this. So I just dipped a small brush into this, and I used it right out of here. And yeah, this is held together. Okay. So it's the same thing. All right. So when I do run out of this, like I did, I refilled this with this. All right. Again, I know a lot of you more experienced people may be aware of this, but for some of the new people, I just thought I would make that mention. This is a lot more economical purchasing the Tamiya extra thin cement in this size bottle, even though it says airbrush cleaner. Same stuff. All right. So I think that's going to do it for this Papa's Quick Hits video. And thank you so much for tuning in again. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button for me. And I will see all of you in the next video.